Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. In this video we'll cover the action from day 1 and 2, putting them in one video this time. Not a lot of time on my hands right now with the All Japan selection competition going on at the same time. So I'm sorry if I don't cover something in this video, but I think I've got the main points, including this huge Ippon. It's going to be one of the biggest Ippons of the year. Just a huge Soresuri Komigoshi by Ham from Great Britain. I mean, look at the airtime, that was picture perfect. It doesn't get better than that. So we'll start off at 66, Basili going down from 73. Nice score for Wazari here with the Ochigari. He's very well known for it. And the Italians, I mean, they've got this weird Ochigari they do. Really low with a lot of rotation. Basili, he doesn't get that low. There are some guys like Palati who basically rotate on their knee. It's quite incredible. And here's Basili, left at 66, right at 73. What do you guys think? I don't think it's sustainable. I think he'll probably only compete a couple of times a year because that weight cut is got to be brutal. So this is his first contest again. We had the Ochigari and then this Ippon Seoinage. So two Wazaris, looking pretty good. Obviously carrying a lot of strength going down to 66. But then in his next contest, went out to this Tomoinage here. Gets thrown, kind of rolls on his head, but they give it the Ippon. They would have given it the Ippon anyway if they went to the video refs. So in 2 Grand Slams, Basili has not podiumed in 2 Grand Slams. So I hope he does well in the future. It's just that weight cut doesn't look too good. And going down a weight doesn't mean you're just going to dominate everyone. They are just as strong down there as at 73. So next we're going to talk about some French people. French people just dominated on day 1. This is Pont. She got the gold medal at under 48. Then there was Bouchard at under 52. And she's always consistent. Always manages to find her way on the podium. With this Kataguruma she has, it's so good. Definitely one of the most consistent French judokas. But I've said in the past that the men's team is really lacking. And for a country that apparently has one of the biggest judo populations in the world, they don't do so well, especially in the men's. But at this tournament, we had Gobert at under 66. He took gold. And Gobert, he's been looking pretty good recently. Definitely a Frenchman that I'm keeping my eye on. He's had some good results, but finally getting a gold medal. And this was his first gold medal, although the final ended with a Shido, which is a little bit disappointing. But just one thing I want to point out, have a look at the crowd. I mean, this is meant to be a final in a Grand Slam, and there's just nobody in the crowd. Lots of empty seats. There's a huge wad of seats up in the rafters that are completely empty. The other side of the stadium is mostly IGF staff and camera crew and whatnot. I mean, look at them right there again. This is Gobert's quarterfinal, and you just kind of expect at this point during the day the seats would be packed. So I don't think we see a Grand Slam in Antalya next year unless they've got some sort of contractual obligation or something. But I mean, they can't have made money on this with the number of people that are in there. Anyway, back to the French team. So, under 60, Mikidze, he takes gold as well. But Mikidze, he's been doing pretty well recently. Several golds, gold at the Tel Aviv Grand Slam, and gold at the Grand Prix in Almada. So the French team, guys, what do you think? I definitely think they're on the up and coming in terms of the men's team. Young guys, and these guys are starting to podium more and more. Hopefully, they have a really good team going into the Olympics. Right, next up, day 2, my favorite day. And Sendoche, he was on fire. Definitely returning to form. I think it's hard when you become world champion. You're just expected to win all the time. And it looks really bad when you kind of go out early. I saw him go out early in the Tokyo Grand Slam. I saw him hanging out in the arena. Just, you know, being a little bit hard on himself. But it must be hard. It must be hard. But I'd be pretty happy with this result. I mean, he got all the way to the final, up against Lombardo, and then here gets Hansoku Make for head diving. But, I mean, I think this should be okay, to be honest. Just to give you guys a bit of context, this was yesterday. Nakayama against Nakamura. Nakamura in blue, he won the thing. And, I mean, he didn't get done for head diving here. And when you look at what Sendoche did, it looks almost the same. In fact, I'd say Nakamura's probably much worse. So just personally, I think they really need to rethink the head diving rule, especially when someone's on attack, on defense, and how they land with their head. It's just not a good rule right now. So Lombardo, he took gold at under 73. So this will be his second gold medal at under 73. And interestingly, he won his first one at Antalya. So 2 gold medals at under 73 at Antalya. Maybe he likes the pizza there. I don't know. But Lombardo, his judo, I've got to do a video on his judo. He's a very, very smart judoka. He does a lot of things. He sets things up. He waits for people to take certain grips and then just capitalizes on it. This sort of stuff here. You can tell he practices a lot of these counters. I think he spends a lot of time on the sport of judo, not just judo itself. He really knows how to win a contest. But he's also got incredible skills as well. I mean, look at this. This is the kataguruma grip. And he's got an excellent kataguruma. And Heidorov's running away from it. He's running away from the kataguruma. Walks right into a nice piece of ashiwaza. So Lombardo takes out Heidorov, but Heidorov made it all the way through into the bronze medal contest. And if you don't know, Heidorov, he's got really good newaza. I don't think he gets a lot of credit for how good his newaza is. He gets a lot of Ippons for doing stuff like this. And the other bronze went to the Ukrainian. It's just amazing that Ukrainians are able to compete in judo at the moment, just how the situation is with their country. But yeah, Kazimirov, he takes out Wanka with this nice Osoto. Really like the fake going across the body with the leg. Nice stuff. At under 81, Molai, he was on fire. I'm not sure about this close camera angle. It's kind of weird that they sometimes do this close camera angle, but a really nice sode here. Actually, since he's poking that elbow through, do you have to call this a seoi nage? Sometimes I get really confused with a sode and a seoi nage. And Molai, he also took out Boltoboyev with this nice Hikuri Ashibarai. I love these techniques, just real minimal effort. It's all about timing and feel. So Molai, he made it all the way to the final. And then he came up against Cass. And Cass also had a pretty good day. I kind of got the impression that Cass was going back to his roots a little bit more here. Kind of getting people to the ground, whether it be a wazari or just no score at all. And then really honing in on the newaza. And this here, if you don't know it, Sankaku Gatame, this hold down with the triangle around the upper body. I mean, it's probably the biggest hold down in judo. Everyone's doing it. And here's another one by Cass. As I said earlier, just getting people down to the ground and jumping on top of them in the newaza. So Osaikomi win there. And in the finals, it was him against Molai. And Molai here, Molai making a mistake. I think he wanted to lock up that arm and roll him over into this hold down. But Cass is just such an expert on the ground, I really wouldn't want to touch it. And Cass goes on top here. And I guess this is a variation of Yoko Shihogatame, but I'm really not sure what to call this one. With the leg behind the head like that. So at under 81, we had Cass taking gold, Molai taking silver. Boltoboyev, he kind of predicted his own future here. Throwing for a wazari, winning this contest here. His opponent, an injured knee. And then in Boltoboyev's next contest, you can see he really injures his knee here. And the injury looks quite bad. I'm not sure we'll see him anytime soon. I'm not sure if he was coming into this contest with an injury and then it just got really bad. But coming off the mat here, he has to get helped off by Gauthier, who took the other bronze at 81. So Boltoboyev, I hope you have a quick recovery and I hope we see you again soon. And the other bronze went to Jalo. Jalo throwing DeWitt with this massive uranage here. I think against someone like DeWitt, you really have to use these kinds of techniques. And Jalo, another judoka from France, who's doing really well recently. So that's 73 and 81. We'll talk about the women's now. Nizoe, I mean, she's just so incredible at throwing people with Uchimata, Ashiguruma, Haraigoshi, these kinds of Ashiwaza techniques. And she really did this all day, throwing quite a lot of her opponents. Here's an Uchimata. Enough for an Ippon there. And for the women's guys, I don't have footage of all the women's contests, just kind of the gold medals and a couple of interesting ones. One of them, Tsunoda, taking bronze. And I gotta love it how she shaves her head for these contests. It's really cool. And she's someone I definitely think will be at the top of the podium one day, but still, kind of developing her skills. But with skills like that, I mean, she'll be there soon enough. Under 63, we had Quadros from Brazil taking gold. Not too sure who she is, but nice technique here. Big drop down Ippons here, Unege. Locked up the arm really well. Silver at under 57, she took out Deguchi. And that was a great fake into the Kochi. And Deguchi, she won this contest last time. So a bit of a rivalry developing here. It's pretty cool to see these two go at it. Both world champions in silver. Also a previous world champion. And then lastly guys, at under 63, Haka continuing to take bronze medals as she does, just performing well on the international stage for an Australian, which is pretty impressive. So the Ippons for this tournament guys, coming soon, and day 3, I'll do a video for day 3 later. That's it for now, see you later, bye.